The sun is setting and the energy is growing. Welcome to Florence, Arizona, as we at the SOAZVB Network are here to bring you the Valley Christian Trojans and the Florence Gophers. My name is Lupe Ramirez, and I am here with Anthony Pistorio. Anthony, how does it feel to be back here at Florence and broadcasting a game for your very first time?
Oh, it feels amazing. It's obviously a very exciting time and a very exciting game. And, when you look at the two teams playing today, we got to go all the way back to last year for the first matchup between these two teams. NAU Sky Dome, Valley Christian 27, Florence 24. Lupe, let me ask you, what has to be different in this game today for Florence to come out on top?
I feel like they have to come out on fire. If they feel like there's any type of lag within the offense, defense, or even special teams, I think that the Valley Christian Trojans will be quick to pounce on them. What about you? What do you feel will be the keys to the game so that Florence walks away from this game as a victor?
I think it has to start at the quarterback position for Florence. When we take a look at Logan Stenson, 17-6 as a starter here. 1,200 passing yards in 2023 with 8 touchdowns. He's a guy that you can rely on heavily, and I think that today they're going to need him to even take a bigger step from last year in order to win this game. Lupe, let me ask you, though, what does it come down to in the end of this game for Florence, offense or defense?
I think you kind of hit it right on the head when you mentioned it in the podcast. It's going to be the special teams. I think that the kicking and the special team is going to be playing a pivotal role in this game, and I think that everything that you have mentioned has pretty much been spot on about the Gophers, and obviously you speaking from experience.
Yes, we got to take a look, though, first. Head coach Jesse Hart, right? It's third year in Florence. He, as well as a 17-6 record as the head coach. In his first 2 seasons, he's been able to take this team to the promised land in the playoffs. But the problem for them has been taking that extra step. What I'd like to see today in this game is them taking that first step towards that big leap. They got to beat this team here today. This is the biggest game on their schedule, I think. And I think it starts in the first quarter offensively for Florence. I'd like to see a lot of 13 personnel from them today, but I think that it's really going to rely on Logan Stenson. And a lot of other guys would be Malik Smith and Darren Swain. They've got to get it done offensively for them today.
I agree. Now let's take a look at both teams' schedules as we wait for the national anthem. Valley Christian played Tempe last week and blew them out 48-0.
And when you take a look at Valley Christian, they hosted Tempe last week in their home opener and a dominant win, 48-0. And then when we take a look at Florence, they were at Gilbert Christian in week 1, fell a little bit behind in the first half, we noticed, but they were able to come back in the second half, and they took a 38-28 win.
And that game was back and forth throughout the night. Luckily, you were able to keep an eye on what was going on. Now, let's take a look at the standings for the 3A Metro, as this is the same region that Valley Christian is in.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, overall, Bourgade Catholic has yet to play their first game, obviously. Gilbert Christian and Tempe, as we just talked about, were the 2 teams that were defeated. But Ben Franklin and Valley Christian starting off hot. But I think that this is Valley Christian's region to lose. And tonight is a big game that can affect them in this region as we go forward.
Definitely. I feel like the Chargers are the hunter in this region.
And then when we take a look over to the 3A Central, Florence and ALA Ironwood were able to snag up wins, as well as Santan Foothills in our game of the week in week 1, while Coolidge and Crisman were unsuccessful in their wins. But when we take a look at this division, Lupe, and we talked about this all throughout the week, this is no longer a 2-man race in our eyes. It's a 3-man race, because when you look at it and break it down, Florence and ALA Ironwood were the 2 dogs. But you've just added another dog in Santan Foothills. Where do you see this playing out?
It's going to be tough. I still feel like it's still too early to tell, but I feel like this is going to be a very exciting race, especially when you add a wild card in the Santan Foothills Sabercats. That was a hell of a game last week that we were able to sit and watch and witness the growth of a team that not many people would have expected that type of performance from. But I feel like we know what we are in for tonight here in Florence, and I am expecting a shootout. We have a good game of predictions now. What type of game do you feel like this is going to be? Do you feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game, or is this going to be more defensive?
I think that this can go both ways, right? It just depends on what both offenses come out and do in their first drives. Is Florence going to come out with that run heavy that we know they like to do, or are they going to mix it up and come out with that pass? Because we saw last year, the run didn't work as much for Florence in the second half, and that passing game is what kept them in against Valley Christian. Will they go back to that to begin the game tonight, or will they go and do old reliable and stick with their game plan and run the ball down Valley Christian's throat? What do you think?
I think if it's not broke, don't fix it. But we will take a break right here at the SOAZVB Network. Thank you for joining us. And we are back here in Florence as we prepare for the arrival of the Florence Gophers.
Everyone on your feet and make some noise for yours.
And here they come. And I got to ask you, you being a player here at Florence, what is your most fondest memory playing on this field?
I think it's just taking every game day by day. You know, when you look back on it, you take it for granted that you missed it, but you had the fun when you did. But let me bring you back to this game quickly and ask you, well, we just heard this crowd, loud as can be, right? Does Florence have a much more distinct advantage this time around than they did last year with all the traveling and being in the home environment and this hostile crowd?
Oh, definitely. The environment that Florence can bring on their home field, it's different. You won't feel it anywhere else, and you'll hear it. It comes from the competitiveness from the players, and you'll hear it from the fans as well.
And I think I got to break it down. The keys of the game for me. Starting out with Florence, I think it's a bend, don't break. I think that this defense got a little bit rattled last week, you know, but hey, the saying always goes, bend, don't break. As long as you can hold on to that final second, you can do anything you can, you know. So for me, it's going to be bend, don't break on the defensive side for Florence. For Valley Christian, it's going to be on and off the field quick on defense. Got to stay refreshed. Defense wins championships, as we talked about, and we know that both these offenses can be elite when firing on all cylinders. And last but not least, turnover battle. Whoever wins the turnover battle today, I think, has a much higher chance of winning this game than the opposing team. We talk about it all the time. Turnovers can make the difference in a game, Lupe.
Well, Anthony, you are very well versed, and I can't tell that this is your very first game on commentary, but I am awaiting the coin toss as we prepare for the captains to meet midfield with the Zebras on the white F. We are about to take a quick break here as we prepare for the national anthem.
This time I'd like to ask everybody in attendance to please rise.
Everybody, Daniel Guevara here from the Varsity Breakdown. What's going on, everybody? Daniel Guevara here from the Varsity Breakdown. And with football season upon us, I just wanted to jump on and introduce a new segment that we have going on this year called Top 10 Tuesdays, where we're going to be highlighting the top 10 plays of every week. If you're interested in submitting one of your plays, please send them to the varsitybreakdown21@gmail.com and make sure you include your name, your school, your position, and your graduation year. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday on our YouTube channel at SoAZVB Network and find out.
And we are back. Now, and we've covered a lot of the Florence players. Now, is there anybody on the opposite side that has got your attention?
I think you got to look at Gunnar Link, right? Threw for 3,367 yards, 44 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions last year. That's a guy that can get it done in the air, obviously. And when we take a look at the pass rush, they did lose him, however, to graduation. But when we take a look at what Valley Christian builds here with Coach Jake Peterson, I think that they can plug in many guys to fill that void. And when you take a look at how Florence's secondary did last week, the pass game is going to be very, very interesting for Valley Christian. Are they going to attack it right away, or are they going to set up plays to attack those weaknesses of Florence, like I've said before? We got to take a look, too, as well, with someone they lost, and Caleb Lewis. They also lost him to graduation, one of their top rushers. Lupe, can they plug in the backfield? Can they find new guys in this backfield that can take them to the promised land? And it starts here for me, but do you see the outcome for Valley Christian, positive or negative in the backfield?
I think that the outcome will be positive. Schools like Valley Christian, they're very well versed in their recruiting, and I feel like they have a very well-oiled system where when one gear leaves or moves out of their system, so to speak, they're easily able to move one right back in.
And look, an offense that averaged 33.3 games or points per game last year, that's going to be tough to stop. So the big test, I think, coming in the beginning of this game is going to be Florence's secondary. And lastly, quickly, let me ask you, we talked about the Florence offense earlier. Who has to step up on offense offensively besides Logan Stenson? Darren Swain, Wyatt Stenson, Malik Smith, and Aiden Lee are all names that have been thrown out there. Who is it for you?
For me, I think that it has to be Malik Smith. I want to see some hard-nosed running, and I feel like he can take it to this Valley Christian defense. He just has to believe in himself.
I agree with you 100%. And, you know, personally, I love my 13 personnels and I love my split backs. But I think they're going to have to, at some point, be able to get it done in the air as well. You can't always rely on your run. You have to be able to throw the ball. And we know they can. It's just a matter of, are they going to unleash that this game?
And that's a good question. Now, and you being a former player here, do you feel like Wyatt would be that person that Logan would go to because that brother-to-brother connection, or would it be a different receiver?
It's not just that, man. He's such a hard worker, and all these receivers are hard workers on this team. When you look at it from wide receiver 1 to 3, Darren Swain, Aiden Lee in the slot, Wyatt Stenson. These are all guys that can be playmakers if the ball's in their hands. And I think that the main goal is going to be just getting the ball to them. And we know time and time again that Logan Stenson is one of the best quarterbacks we have out here. And I mean, it comes down to whether or not are they going to attack the run first, or are they going to be an air raid offense to start the game. Personally, for me, I'd like to catch them off guard right now. As we could see, Valley Christian's getting the ball first half, and Florence will retain the second half. I think that this is, again, right as we talked about, I think the defense is getting tested early, and for me, it's got to be a quick 3 and out. What about you? What do you think offensively for Valley Christian on this drive?
I feel like they have to bring it right now. I feel like if they're not going into this first play, not trying to get into the end zone, I think that they are going to be sorely mistaken playing this Florence team.
I 100% agree with you, and I think the tone setter is not on defense right now. It's on the first play right here in special teams. So here we go.
The Tech 9 has been played and the ball has been placed. We are ready for football here in Florence.
Adrian Vasquez.
Kicker approaches, and it is up into the arms of the Valley Christian returner, and he moves past the defenders as he will get pushed out of bounds somewhere near his own 40-yard line. Ant, how did you see that play unfolding?
It's a big play for Valley Christian, right? Tone setter right there. Florence's defense has to come out now and bend, not break. You're on your side of the field. Bend, don't break right now if you're Florence.
Kicker number 2, Darren Swain. It'll be Trojans ball from the Gophers 38.
And the Trojans will take possession on the 38 as we await the first snap of this game.
Offset tight end, Lupe, might be a play action or a trap.
Let's see if you're right. That's a short pass to number 11. And he'll get pushed out of bounds somewhere near the 20. Now, that's not something that you would have anticipated. You would have imagined they went with a run. Now, how surprised are you to see them pull out a pass that early?
I think I'm very surprised, but I'm also not surprised at the same time. Lots of times we see these formations when you have your offset tight ends, they're usually play actions go in the strong side, or your trap plays come in your short side. Great call there by Valley Christian to run that screen. A very good call. They saw the Florence corners playing off, and that's just great offensive coordinating right there. But holding against the offense, Lupe actually brings that back, so a huge break for Florence to start the game after that big kick return and big chunk play right there.
We'll see if Florence is able to retaliate. Defense giving them trouble, making them scramble. And they bring them down, I believe, on the 42 or 43-yard line.
A.J. Watts.
Isaiah Macias taken down by A.J. Watts as we await for 2nd and 13 for the Trojans.
Different personnel coming in here.
Now, how does that energy feel for you being from the sideline onto the commentary booth? Because you're an offensive player and now you're helping the defense announce these. Like, how does that feel?
It's very surreal. You know, you study so much film. It's when you see it from up top now, you see a lot more. And, you know, early on, they actually, Valley Christian, obviously, I thought that it was a play action. They caught me by surprise. But it's just little things you see like that.
Ball is snapped. One puts the ball in the air to 9, and it is overthrown. And that is Calvin Gage, who is overthrown by Isaiah Macias.
Yeah, and we talked about it right there. You know, Watts just gets beat on the outside, and that's a big thing for these Florence corners is can they hold their own? I think right there they caught a break as a miss there by Valley Christian's offense, but I don't think that they'll miss on that again if the opportunity presents itself. And the thing I'm seeing early on from Valley Christian is they're just changing their personnel constantly. Almost every play they've changed their personnel so far, keeping Florence on their toes.
And being familiar with Coach Hart's game plan, how do you feel that'll throw off the defense, if any? And the quarterback is still up, taken down at the 35-yard line.
Now, to answer your question, I think that, you know, being around Coach Hart for the year I was, the thing that he is best at as a defensive coordinator is being able to adjust. So I think he'll be just fine with his guys. Once he starts seeing what Valley Christian's throwing at him, he'll be able to adjust. And, you know, he's one of the best adjusters that I've ever seen as a coach, and I think that they'll be okay. Big stop, though, on them for the first drive right there. That bend don't break.
Exactly what they did, and now we await a punt from the Valley Christian Trojans, a 3-and-out. Oh, as they fake it, and the ball is taken out of bounds. Unsuccessful on the trick play as the Gophers will take possession on the 37-yard line.
And here comes Stenson now. We got the senior quarterback at 6'4", 190. This is his game now, and I think it starts right here on this drive. Can they move the ball on this defensive line in the air or on the ground?
We are just a few short moments away from seeing that happen. Got to be a big feel for Mr. Stenson, this being his senior season, one of his last opportunities to lead this team to the promised land.
And you know he's wanted this game all week. You know, this game's probably been in the back of his mind since last year's loss on that bus ride home. So right now, you know, they just had the nice break. They got to talk it over, see what they come out in here. I'm expecting some run heavy to start the game, if I'm being honest.
Let's see if the Gophers go with the ground and pound offensive attack to start their game.
Split back might be a wedge or a trap right here instead, honestly. The motion across.
And they are able to get a defender off sides, I believe.
They caught a break there. I think I saw a false start before I saw that defender go across. But I like what I saw early on there. Motion over, try to check the coverage. And, you know, with that split back, too, could come a sweep with your outside receiver. So they've got many options out of this formation.
Plenty of options. Let's see what Logan Stenson goes with here. Drops back into the pocket, has a defender coming at him. Connects with his receiver.
And just a quick replay right there. What a great play call to start this game for Florence, right? I mean, when you think about it, they're in the run-heavy offense, and you're thinking run up the gut or something, and they come out there and they just throw that nice little halfback screen right up the middle. It's a great play call to start the drive. That's a nice tone setter right there.
Exactly, and a great way for Logan to stay calm, especially when he had a couple of big Trojan defenders coming his way and him able to stay cool and make that play happen. As we have a run play here, as we look like we might get our very first Gophers touchdown.
What a play to start. You go with the screen right away, and Malik Smith takes the stretch all the way outside. What a great job by the tackle there to hook that end inside. Great play calling to start the game. That's a huge score and a quick score. That's exactly what they needed in this game.
That's exactly what they needed. And now the Gophers take the lead 6-0 as we await for the kicking team to put up the extra point.
What a great job, both sides of the ball for first possessions. Defensively, quick 3-and-out. Offensively, quick score. 2 plays.
I mentioned him earlier, and Malik Smith, what a way to bring himself into this game to put the first points on the board for the Gophers. High snap. Kick is blocked, and it's bumbled around as it falls. And Ant, you said it earlier, the special teams is going to play a pivotal role. And not only on the Florence side, that is on the Valley Christian side as well.
Yeah, I think that you can't let that affect you if you're Florence right now, though. You got to come out of that drive thinking, we got 6 and we scored quick and we were able to stop them fast. And it's one of those things where, you know, you have to look at the glass half full than opposed to the glass half empty sometimes.
100%. I definitely agree with that.
The big factor early on, though, that Florence offensive line, just insane, right? I mean, to make 2 plays that big for them, screenplay, amazing blocking, and they're just getting to their reads, and then on the run. You know, we talk about some of the hardest runs to run are stretches because you rely so much on your guard and tackle to your strong or weak side to be able to hook those guys in and make that play. Great job all around for Florence. They're ready to go in this game.
And Florence has definitely lost a lot in the past couple of years when it comes to their offensive and defensive line, but they also have a great farm system where they're able to create that same type of pedigree within their freshman and sophomore and JV teams as well.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you know, it's good to see because their big question this year is that offensive line.
And the kick is up as the Trojans prepare to return. He gets past the 20 but has trouble, and that is number 5, Junior Gill, who is taken down at the 22-yard line.
6 fields the ball, Adrian Vasquez. He's tackled by Gopher number 8.
Oh, excuse me, that was Adrian Vasquez that fielded the ball.
Bigger personnel coming in here for Valley Christian to start this drive, Lupe. Might be trying to establish a run early on now.
And if you're Florence, how do you counter this?
I think you just have to play your game. It's working so far, so why stop?
And you're right, here comes the run down the left side, and he's able to break a couple tackles, and that is Jake Rockefeller, who is able to get a first down on his first run. And take a look at this replay, Ant. He's able to break not 1, but 2 defenders, making him look silly, and it has a hard time getting taken down by number 3.
Number 3, Zayden Cundiff.
Zayden Cundiff.
Yeah, I think that right there, you've got to stay in your lane and set the edge there. Linebackers drifted way too outside. You cut it right back up, right back up the linebacker for a big gain there. It's coming in at 2nd and 1 now.
And another handoff as we have another Valley Christian first down as Jake Rockefeller just has 2 tremendous runs back to back.
And this is the thing we talked about. Are they going to be able to adjust right now?
And you called it earlier when you saw that large personnel make their way onto the field, you already knew that they were ready to establish the run. Rockefeller will take the ball and is met immediately by Zay Cundiff. Let's take another look at that big hit. And I don't know if you've ever played with Zayden, but
I'm going to see right there. He comes right off the guard's hips and reads it well, stuffs it in the inside of the backfield. Great play.
But that has got to hurt.
That's just one of those plays where you read your guards. The guards always take you to where the play's going. That's one thing I was taught when I played.
Zayden's first year under Coach Hart last year as he moved here from Colorado, as Rockefeller takes the ball again for another 6 yards.
3rd and 5 now. Might change the personnel a bit, but they might motion again. Might try to catch a play action, get those bikers to bite up a little bit.
Well, they've been very successful with the run here. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to throw in a little trickery here.
Offside tight end to the left. Play might be going to the right.
And Isaiah Macias puts the pass out there to Ryan Richards, and he is successful for another Trojans first down.
Another one of those play actions, right? Figured it was coming, ran it a lot. Strong side was wide open over there. Brought your tight end to the left. You bring that backer over, and up front, you got a wide open seam route there.
Now Valley Christian nearing their way to their red zone and possibly on their way to tying this game up with 6:26 to go here in the first.
Empty backside here possibly could be a power.
Macias keeps it himself and will be taken down after a gain of maybe 6 or 7 yards.
Quarterback number 1, Isaiah
Not
Macias.
exactly the type of trickery I was expecting, but nonetheless, it was something different that we hadn't seen.
Well, you got to think, right? Empty backfield on first down, you're likely something short or power right there. And, you know, it's one of those times where you see your tight ends offset to the left, your quarterback's right-handed, figured power there. And I think that the Florence defense got caught a little off guard in that one.
Rockefeller will take the ball again and is met at the line of scrimmage by 3 Florence Gophers.
Ball carrier number 3, Jake Rockefeller. Tackled by number
It's going to be a big 3rd and 2 coming up here.
Hayden Valle, and number 6.
I think if you're Valley Christian, you just got to punch this one up the gut. Your run game's been keeping you in this entire drive. Why go away from it? You only need a yard.
Still plenty of game left. Let's see how much time they will chew running the ball here. Wildcat formation. And the quarterback will keep and be taken down immediately.
It's going to be close.
Let's see if they're able to convert.
Ball carrier number 18, Hayden Pompas. Tackled by a group of Gophers.
It's going to be just short. I think they're going to go with the goal line formation here. Just pound it right up the middle.
And that Gopher gang tackle makes for 4th and inches
If
here
you're
in
Florence,
Florence.
do you go to a five-man personnel on the defensive line? They do. They adjust to it right there. It's a great job.
Great observation, Ed. I feel like our viewers have a young Tony
I don't think
Domo
he
in the
got
booth.
it.
I don't think so either, as he is met by another gang of Gophers, and that is number 77 for the Red Squad, Mr. Cade Neal.
That's a great adjustment right there, right? You see you understand the scenario. You bring up the 5-man defensive line and you stuff it in the backfield. You can't ask for a much better defensive drive than that right there. Another one of those bend don't breaks. And now it seems like Valley Christian's playing up to Florence's level. And when we saw last year, Florence was playing up to Valley Christian's level. So almost a flip to the script kind of game so far.
I feel like Florence definitely has the edge early on in this game.
After Florence here, though, do you go back to the run or do you stick it in the air again? I think you got to keep them off your toes.
Well, looking at their formation, looks like they're going to keep the Trojans on their toes as we get a bit of motion from Swain as he will take the ball as in that sweep and maybe get 2 to 3 yards on there.
Just stop short. Probably could have still taken it outside a little, even 1 or 2 more yards. It helps you so much on a drive in a game like this where you've got 2 defensive stops and you've got a chance to go up 2 scores.
And Florence definitely has the opportunity with just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter as the clock ticks just under 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Spread out formation more. Might be trying to get them to spread the box out for a run here.
And the Trojan defense adjusts accordingly as Logan hands the ball off and the runner is met, and that is Malik Smith, is met by a few Valley Christian Trojans, but nonetheless, we have another Florence first down.
It's just such a hard runner, man. I saw it right there. You bring the motion across, you bring that backer across, and it opens up so much, and he just took it to that B gap, and he went with it, man, right off the guard. That's an amazing play again for Florence. They're looking good early on.
Yeah, he was one of those players that had to come alive when one of their stars went down last year, Josh Jackson. And I feel like Malik definitely filled that role very well. Stenson hands off again to Joe
Rechko on the play there.
Thank you, man, for that save.
And that's another thing that we just saw right there, right? That's the second running back used by Florence, and we know that they like to use Zayden Cundiff running the ball a lot. So far, a three-man backfield for Florence. But there is a flag on the play.
A little bit of laundry on the field as the Zebras will converse.
It's been a great job for Florence changing formations so far in this game. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
Oh, yeah, so far so good. If you are a Florence fan and if you are a Valley Christian fan, how do you feel they are hoping that their team makes their adjustments?
I think you just have to take a deep breath, honestly, as the holding call gets called on Florence there, and it'll back them up on that play. But I think you have to be patient, and, you know, this isn't a one-quarter game. It's a four-quarter game. You can't win a game in the first half, but you sure can lose it, right? So I think they just have to stay sound and poised, and they'll be okay.
Let's see how they react after that penalty. Logan takes a snap, drops back, has all the time in the world as he is unsuccessful, but we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, Swain got held there, went for the deep post corner route. He got tugged on, but there's another play on the field. There's another flag on the field.
Yeah, and that was actually Aiden Lee, excuse me, that was pushed out of bounds, and I feel like maybe we have some pass interference.
Yeah, Swain went for that post corner on the outside in the back end, and he got held the second he turned on that corner. It's a great route runner, you know, as a receiver. That's the best compliment you can get, is running a route so good that you draw a flag for your team because of how good you ran it. And I think that there's going to be 2 flags coming up here on Valley Christian, so Coach Hart's got a choice to make right now.
And he is seconds away from getting his options.
Here comes the call.
And it will be pass interference as the ball is moved forward, and we will get.
They're going to accept the pass interference call. That's a good choice. And again, great job by Swain. So now, Florence, now you've really opened up the playbook for anything.
Looks like we may get a timeout here.
Yeah, came with the heavy set there. Brought Malik Smith up in a 3-point stance. Rebs conversating again. Well, I'll ask you so far, what are your thoughts of the Florence offense so far and how they've played? I mean, I think that they've come out with 2 methodical drives so far.
I feel like their run game has been phenomenal. I'm looking forward to seeing how well they are able to establish their pass game. I have all the faith in the world in Mr. Logan Stenson. I'm just waiting to see it unfold before my very eyes.
They're going to move the ball up even more on sportsmanlike conduct call there. So, yeah, you were right. Two penalties before there on Valley Christian, and that hurts. That's about 25 to 30 yards right there taken up by penalties for Valley Christian. You've got to clean it up if you want to stay in this game and win.
And if you're the Valley Christian defense, you've got to be a little bit fatigued right now, having to deal with these penalties still being on the field.
Florence is coming back out with that heavy set. I don't think they're trying to fool him. I think that this is a heavy run up the middle right here.
And Rechko will take the ball and get almost 7 yards as he is pushed out of bounds by a group of Valley Christian defenders.
It's a great call there, right? 3-point stance. You bring your fullback to the right, shifts the D-line into a pinch right side, and you just hit him back with the toss over to the left. And again, right there, Joe Rechko in the backfield, again, taking the reps. So they're splitting reps with their guys, and they're keeping their guys fresh in the field. And that's going to be another key to the game for them to stay and win this game.
Couldn't imagine playing high school fantasy right now because that would be hard if you had either one of these running backs on your team.
You can't go wrong with anyone on this offense so far.
Oh no, this is a three-headed monster. And Logan is successful in his connection with Lee as we look at another Florence first down possibly.
Ball carrier number 22.
I think they're going to say he's just short for 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. But again, a nice pitch and catch there. Defense is playing off in a cover 4, so he went right to the out route. That's a nice pitch and catch by Stenson right there, and that's great IQ to know that. As I think Valley Christian takes their second time out on the same drive.
Correction.
Well, it's obvious that Coach Hart and co have him a little bit out of sorts right now as the Valley Christian Trojans are making a little bit of uncharacteristic mistakes here.
Well, if you're Valley Christian too, I mean, despite what's going on in this drive, they call 2 timeouts. They're also letting Florence discuss what they want to run next, and they've been very effective. So for me, not understanding the timeout call right there, I mean, I think you're okay to afford another 6 to 3 points right here if you can just regain your team and calm them down, because like we've said, it's still the first quarter with 1:43 left. Burning 2 timeouts in the first half, in the first quarter let alone, that's crucial. And you never know when that can come back into a game, especially in the fourth quarter and second quarters before halftime mainly.
Well, maybe Coach Peterson saw them a little bit shaky there and felt the need to call the timeout.
And yeah, that's no discredit to him. He's one of the best. He's one of the most smartest coaches and one of the longest tenured coaches in Arizona high school right now. So, I mean, if he wants to call a timeout for his team, I'm sure he has a good reason behind it.
And let's see if that call will be beneficial for the Trojans, or will they give up another Florence first down?
Cundiff and Smith in the backfield in this one. No Rechko.
Motion from Swain. As the ball will be handed off to Malik Smith as he will fall into the red zone for a first down.
Not that big of a play, but when you look right here, you got to take a look at Smith. Defensive end jumps there, but just a hard runner up the gut. Oh, just a one shoelace trip up away from another touchdown.
Nothing fancy, but exactly what you need.
Sticking to the game plan.
That is the definition of vital, sir.
Got 1:25 left in the quarter here. Do you take a shot right here on 1st and 10, Lupe?
I think you do. You have a little bit of time here, and you have all the time in the world, still being the first quarter and in the first half of this game.
Think you got to run a little bit of play action, get Stenson involved here, something deep. Why not?
Stenson in motion, has a flag thrown, and he is out of bounds.
Might be a holding call coming back here, I think. You like that you're seeing a lot of motion and movement from this Florence offense. Just keep Valley Christian thinking.
And I think that they have. I feel like with the first game that Valley Christian played, I don't think that was the type of caliber team that they needed to play in order to prepare for a team like Florence.
The ball is holding against the Gophers. Moving back 10. Bring up first down and 20.
Nicer change of personnel here as Smith and Lee are going to come off the field for quick, and couldn't quite see who that was, but again, another personnel change here. And Rechko, that's who it was. Another heavy set, I formation. Could be play action or something up the middle.
Action, and he dodges 3 Valley Christian defenders and marches his way in for what might possibly be a Florence touchdown.
What a play right here. You're going to see Stenson just takes off with his feet, calm in the pocket, and we said he's one of the best rushing quarterbacks that there is around. Just a nice running play by Stenson, staying calm, and he's got 6 on the board again for the Gophers.
And he is taken down in the end zone by Christian Schoenhals, and the Gophers will prepare to put an extra point on the board, something that they were unsuccessful in their last attempt.
I think they're going for the 2 here. Don't mind the call at all, right? What does 1 point hurt? What does losing 1 point hurt you right now? You're up 12-0. If you're thinking you can play the special teams field goal game with them, I like this call right here.
Stenson under center.
I think it's going to be just short.
Just shy of the goal line.
Again, it's okay, though. Up 12-0. They're owning the line of scrimmage this game. And as we heard in that touchdown, is the Florence crowd getting to Valley Christian at all? Is that in their minds, Lupe?
I don't believe so, because looking at the Valley Christian side, they're very well traveled themselves. But with 35 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The score is 12-0 with the Florence Gophers steadily in the lead against the Valley Christian Trojans. And we are going to take a short break here at the SoAZVB Network. Thank you again for joining us.
What's going on, everybody? Daniel Guevara here from the Varsity Breakdown. And with football season upon us, I just wanted to jump on and introduce a new segment that we have going on this year called Top 10 Tuesdays, where we're going to be highlighting the top 10 plays of every week. If you're interested in submitting one of your plays, please send them to the varsitybreakdown21@gmail.com and make sure you include your name, your school, your position.
And we are back as Malik Smith prepares to kick the ball away, and it's a short kick fielded by 26 of Valley Christian, and he is met by a couple of Gophers at the 40-yard line.
If you're Valley Christian, think you got to mix it up a little bit here.
Number 26, Corbin Cecil, fields the ball.
And that was sophomore Corbin Cecil
Tackled by number
on
6,
that return.
Soldier
I think if
Brewer.
you're quarterback Isaiah Messias, you got to settle in here a little bit.
The Trojan ball on their own 40-yard line.
And they actually have Junior Gillen at quarterback. And this is what we talked about before. They run about 2 to 3 quarterbacks, and I've never seen something like that. Does that at all affect a tone and mojo for your offense?
I don't know. I feel like that kind of maybe sets the precedent for, almost a tremendous one-handed grab.
They're going to call a pass interference on that. It's a close call, but I think it might be the right call as he was tugging on the neck there a little bit. I know the crowd doesn't like the call, but
The refs have to call him as they see him, as we may get a penalty on the Florence Gophers here.
I think they're going to start attacking that weakness now. We saw right there at a first down, trying to attack that secondary. I think they got to stick with it. You need to score this drive if you're Valley Christian. Whether it's 3, 6, or 8, you need something.
And again, that's something that you had mentioned on our podcast previously. The Florence Gophers secondary was the most troubling part of their team in your eyes.
Yeah, 100%. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to attack Willis over here on our end of the screen.
And we get a run play, and that is
And he loses the ball. He loses the ball, and it's going to be a Florence football.
And we have a replay for you. Check this out here as the Florence defenders are able to knock the ball loose out of Rockefeller's hands.
I don't think it was that right there. Yeah, Valley Christian is just shooting themselves in the foot this game so far.
And you gotta love the intensity of Wyatt Stenson there, being able to knock that ball out of Rockefeller's hands.
You know, I was told earlier, too, by someone that they like to switch Swain and Stenson out there, that safety position, to keep them both fresh since they're on offense. And right there, again, proved to be a great decision, as now Florence has a chance to be in a driver's seat spot in the first quarter with a chance to go out 19 or 20-0.
And Anthony, to answer your question earlier about the 3 different personnel that they have at quarterback, I think it kind of just sets the precedent for the role for multiple leaders to actually flourish in this system, since they lost their main one last year. Stenson unloads and is overthrown, but we have a flag on the play and a confused Trojan defender, as we may have pass interference here.
Man, is Darren Swain having one of the greatest receiver games without having a single catch yet? Already drawn 2 crucial pass interference calls. And, you know, one of these times he's going to break through. But I think that so far he's really helped this offense in a different way. And, you know, I talked about this before as well. I like a lot of guys that block. You know, blocking is a big thing for me. He's found out that he can affect this game by drawing penalties for his team, and all credit to him. It's a great IQ play right there, and another first down for Florence Gophers because of that.
Yeah, completely unfortunate that we won't be able to see that on a stat sheet, but he is doing a great job out here. Congratulations to Mr. Swain on making an impact here in the first quarter.
Got to stay with it, though, and I think you got to keep attacking him now if you're Florence, seeing that you can get these penalty calls, throwing the ball towards him. Eventually, one of these times, he's going to come up with a big play.
And with 9 seconds to go, the snap is set as Malik Smith runs through the offensive line and is taken down for quite possibly another first down.
Right up the gut here, you're going to see it again. Comes right off, bounces it outside, cuts back inside, and just great job by the offensive line staying with the play.
What a stiff arm by Smith to knock down number 57, Lorden Pickett.
And the first quarter is going to end with the Gophers 12-0 lead over Valley Christian.
And we are going to take a short break here as we have a timeout on the field.
And now for your
Welcome back to the town of Florence as the Gophers lead the Trojans 12-0 as we kick off the start of the second quarter.
And that's Zayden Cundiff on the carry. So there you go. 3 running backs have now touched the ball for Florence on offense, keeping it fresh legs.
I think that seems to be the story of like Florence and the Florence district. Last week we were in Santan Foothills. They had themselves a three-headed monster, so to speak, in their backfield. And speaking of that backfield, we would like to wish a speedy recovery to Mr. Vision McKee, who recently had surgery on his hand. Florence's offense will receive the ball. Stenson in motion, trying to avoid the defenders and is out of bounds, but gets positive yardage in that scramble.
And you know, I think that's the thing, is they're trying to bring pressure now and rattle this Florence offense. But Stenson just picks up the read so fast there, and he just takes it outside. And we know he's got fast legs. So I mean, at what point do you sit there and say, are we damaging ourselves by blitzing and not dropping more guys back in coverage? Because if we're getting Stenson more of a field to look at and throw and run, you're giving him so much. And I think that another big thing is they're not setting the edge containing him. He's able to run in there free all day long and make up his decisions.
You praised his running ability earlier, and we might possibly get some more of that foot action here from Stenson. As I say that, he scrambles up past the line of scrimmage and scoots past the defender and is taken out somewhere within the red zone for Florence. And as I mentioned, Stenson's feet, he goes and showcases them right before our very eyes.
Going to be to about the 17-yard line there. Another great play. Give the offensive line their flowers, though. Big hole there for Stenson. He sits in there and he makes his mind up. If he's got green grass in front of him, he's taking it. That's one thing I know about him, and he's great at it. Almost up to around 100 rushing yards already, and we're not even out of the second quarter yet.
And they will resume play at the 22-yard line. So not quite in the red zone, as that pass is incomplete to number 11. So used to saying Tyler Potter with that number, but that is actually now KJ Watts in the number 11 for Florence.
Cundiff coming back in the game here. We saw last time he was in, it was that misdirection run.
Stenson relaying his play to his offense as they prepare to take the line.
This might be a heavy trap run right here, or possibly a stretch.
Cundiff to his right and Malik to his left, and Malik Smith will take the ball, but unfortunately will run into a group of linemen as we take another look at it.
Big play here for the Valley Christian defensive line. So read the personnel coming out here, and they stuff in the backfield. You're going to see as the defensive tackle just gets right through there. Great job by the nose tackle there, number 58 for Valley Christian, who is not on my sheet, but that is a huge time play there as it brings up a 3rd and long.
But look at the one thing that I noticed in that replay was the intensity of Zayden Cundiff in his blocking. You see that on both sides of the ball, and I feel like that is going to be very important when the final seconds of these games tick down.
3rd and long. I think you got to give Swain a shot here.
And he is intercepted, unfortunately, as he was aiming for Wyatt Stenson.
I think that was a misread by Wyatt Stenson there. I think he was supposed to run over on the deep cross post route there. I think Stenson tried to put it right there for him, and I think it was miscommunication on both sides there. This could come back to be a costly turnover for Florence right now. Defense has got to stay sound. They've got to get the ball back for their offense.
Yeah, they definitely do not need to let this rattle them, and it's just unfortunate that we got to see that Logan Stenson is in fact human. And that is Logan Stenson's first INT of the year, according to our statistician, Mr. Daniel Guevara.
Isaiah Messias back at quarterback.
And Messias will get a short pass to his left for maybe 3 or 4 yards to number 11, Asher Hansel.
Nice pitch and catch, wide receiver screen right there. What they went with earlier in the game in their first drive. I think they're trying to go back and trace their steps of what worked in the first quarter.
9:57 here to go in the second quarter as the Trojans approach the line of scrimmage and prepare for 2nd and 5. Ball is handed off to Rockefeller. Rockefeller passes through the offensive line and will get a Valley Christian first down.
Florence wanted a late hit there, number 18, as he just took Smith right to the ground after the play, it seems.
And you're hearing it from the Florence crowd. Definitely was something that was completely visible. Not sure why that wasn't called.
I think for Florence, though, you cannot complain about the calls right now. You need to stay focused on the task at hand.
100%, as Rockefeller will take the ball again and is taken down after maybe 4 or 5 yards as we prepare for another 2nd and 5, I believe.
And as the clock ticks down, we are just under 10 minutes in the second quarter. Starting to become a dogfight now. I'm seeing Valley Christian play with a lot more intensity, roughing up a lot more. How will Florence respond to the toughness that Valley Christians bring in this drive?
Well, they've done quite well besides the one lone interception, but I feel like that will be a problem that will be few and far in between for number 5, as that pass is connected to, again, Asher Hansel as he gets another Valley Christian first down. Take a look at this pass, Ant.
They're starting to figure it out, right? Playing off. Great stip route right there. Just takes it outside. It's a nice game there. That's a nice play for Valley Christian, as now I think that they've opened up their playbook to just about run or pass. Keep Florence guessing now, and now we're seeing Valley Christian drive down the field. A great response defensively and a great response offensively on both sides of the ball for Valley Christian. Outstanding.
I think Valley Christian has definitely a great option of quarterbacks here, but Macias definitely seems to be the one to show off his arm, as that is handed off to
number 21, Luke Snyder there. The senior running back. Not a tall guy, 5'9", 170. More of their elusive back, I think.
And number 3, Zayden Gundel.
I think what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in foot speed.
And they're obviously now, what I've come to see is they're trying to run away from Zayden Cundiff. They're trying to ID the Mike backer there, and they're trying to run away from him. But he's just such a great player, he's reacting.
Making adjustments to make sure that that runner is not able to make it past, as that is Isaiah Macias there on the keep. And he is met by a gang of Gophers once again.
Big third medium coming up here. I think if you're Valley Christian, you run that play action, you try to take an exposed shot at that Florence secondary. They've been biting all day so far on it.
Let's see what kind of fight this Florence defense has as the Trojans set up on 3rd and 2.
Motion across, might be play action.
Rockefeller takes the ball and he will get across the line. No, he is denied.
He stood up just before the line. It's going to be 4th and inches again.
And he is taken down by Rechko.
Similar scenario we saw the last offensive drive. Do they bring the 5-man front again if you're Florence? Or do you expect the play action pass to the outside here?
You got to give it up to that Florence front five and them linebackers because they are doing everything they can.
They are. They're going to come out in that 5-man personnel again with the nose tackle. Got to be careful of the outside sweep or play action outside play here.
The crowd is loving it.
They get the jump.
But unfortunately, Florence makes the move and Valley Christian will push the ball further in the direction that suits them best.
And that could result in 6 now. That play alone right there could be the play that results in 6 for Valley Christian if they go down the field and score now.
Let's see if Florence is able to refocus here and put a stop to this Valley Christian offense.
Going back to that 4-4 now.
And that is Rockefeller again with the carry. And he is taken down after another 5 yards.
What a nice play here. I think this is the first halfback counter they've ran all day today. Look at that. Defensive end crashes right down. He just cuts it right back right side. A great time to call a counter play right there.
Gain of 6 brings up 2nd down and 4.
And we prepare for 2nd down and 4 with 5:50 to go here in the first half. Macias will take the ball and hand it off. No, keep it and pass it to number 18, Caden Palmquist, his tight end, as we have another Valley Christian first down.
Zayden Cundiff again on the tackle there. Someone's got to step up defensively now. It's been the Zayden show on defense, and he can only do so much for you. Somebody has got to step up on the defensive line in the front 7 or in the secondary.
Well,
it's a great time to call play action there. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It's a great time to call play action there. You've ran about 2 runs straight. Defense is on their toes. You're expecting run. Great pop pass over the middle on a nice right outside route.
Rockefeller will get the ball again, going right up the middle and taken down after a few yards. But yeah, and going back to your point, talking about Zayden Cundiff, it is easy to see why he was able to rank number 1 in the state last year in tackles with all the action he's getting here tonight.
Keeping Macias in at quarterback here. I think you might see him. We've talked about it. He's the runner. Might see a power here or misdirection.
Valley Christian loving this combination of Isaiah Macias and Rockefeller in the backfield. As Macias puts a pass up but could possibly get intercepted.
What a great play there by KJ Watts as we take a look right here.
Pass is no good.
Right here on the play. Gives up the outside, cuts right through in the middle. It's a great play to stay with it. Got beat inside, but got his arms around fast enough. That's a great job as a secondary player right there. And hey, we talked about someone needing to step up. He stepped up right there. I think someone else has to step up on this 2nd and 1.
Let's see if KJ can help carry that momentum.
Had a lot of plays to work with. Now you only have 1. They might try to punch this one up the gut on Florence now.
Valley Christian in the red zone here. Very dangerous as they almost got taken down, and Macias is taken down, and they are unable to score here. But they get a Valley Christian first down, I believe.
It's going to be a Valley Christian first down. You're right.
Quarterback number 1.
Great play by Isaiah Macias there to have that pocket awareness and pressure. And we talked about it. He is their runner. That's what he's best at. Just under 5 minutes now left in the second quarter. 4:08 on the clock.
As it is 1st and goal
Trojan first down from the 3.
on the 3-yard line. And we get a whistle blown.
I think they were just adjusting the ball placement.
The refs will blow the whistle again and get set. As Macias under center again, get motion.
Got him.
And the pass is good as we have the very first Valley Christian touchdown of the night.
What a great play there. As you see, Zayden Cundiff, the field general, we talked about this. This is one of those plays where he's looking all around trying to figure out for everyone. And right there, They exploit it right up the middle there in a nice zig route to number 11. That's a great play by Valley Christian. It's a great touchdown by Astra Hansel.
Was it Hansel or was it Palmquist?
I think it was Hansel on that, coming out as the tight end on the zig route there. And now, Lupe, do you look at the score and do you think, oh, maybe Florence should have taken those PATs, and maybe the second one should they have taken at least? Because now, instead of it being a 7-point game, and it's no good. That's huge for Florence. But still, now that you look at it, that's even bigger for Florence. If they had just taken the PAT earlier, it's a 7-point game now instead of a 6-point game.
Yeah, but looking at the score right now as we are nearing halftime with 3:54 to go here, with the Gophers leading the Trojans 12-6 here, I think that we are very close to getting the game that you actually predicted, a 25-24 game.
It's one of those things where you know that this isn't going to be a blowout. These are two of the best teams in their respective divisions and regions. And I think right now, game's honestly starting to get away from Florence a little bit. The turnover there, the costly touchdown there, they've got to come out, and I think that on this offensive possession, you can't allow Valley Christian to get the ball back until the third quarter. I think you have to take as much time off the clock as you can. And honestly, special teams, Darren Swain's got a leg on him, man. I think if they get in field goal range, you're taking your 3 right now.
Mr. Swain able to draw a couple of big penalties for the Gophers. Let's see if he'll be able to do that here as the first half expires with this kick, short but high kick from Valley Christian. As it looks like Valley Christian will gain possession. And then if you're Florence, that is not what you wanted.
It's going to be a taunted penalty on Valley Christian. Back him up a bit as he threw the ball in the air after the play. But if you're Florence, you have to expect the unexpected there. They got caught sleeping again, and I just talked about this. They seem like they've been off the rocker this quarter ever since that interception. They have to hit the reset button, and they have to hit it now because their defense is gassed, they're tired, and they're back on the field for another defensive drive.
And it's unfortunate, but let's see if they are able to withstand this Valley Christian offense one more time as the play clock expires.
If you were to ask me right now, are special teams coming into play? They are. And Florence is losing the special teams battle tremendously right now. A missed PAT, a missed field goal, a missed PAT, a missed 2-point attempt, and now an onside recovery from Valley Christian. You just can't allow these things to happen this late in the game. And it's not that late, but when you're in the second quarter, you can't be giving up onside kicks.
Not at all. And I think that the Gophers definitely know that now as they prepare their defense for another round.
Messias with the handoff there. Looks like they're sticking with him at the quarterback position now. And ever since they've stuck with one quarterback, they've looked like a completely different team on offense, Lupe, wouldn't you say?
I believe so. And that was number 21, Luke Snyder there on the carry, who was unsuccessful on getting it past the line of scrimmage.
Same personnel going to flip that running back to the left side.
Ball is snapped, Macias. And we have an interception by Rechko. Rechko moving past the offense, and we look like we may have a pick 6 here in Florence. Take a look at this replay as Rechko moves past the Valley Christian runners and makes it look easy as he is able to right the wrongs of the interception earlier.
Baby, a beautiful play defensively there for Florence. Jumps the out route. They've been going to it all day, and they finally figured it out. And a huge play for Rechko has the Gophers up 18-6. That is how you step up and make a statement play right there. Huge for Florence late in the second quarter.
And the crowd has come alive here on the red side as things quiet down a little bit on the visiting side. And we have 3:04 here in the second quarter as the Gophers prepare for a PAT or possibly a 2-point conversion attempt.
I think this is where you go for the 2-point here.
Stinson walks it in, and the Gophers go up 20-6 over the Valley Christian Trojans. And Anthony, was this the type of game that you anticipated coming into today?
I wouldn't say anticipated. I would say, was it expected? No. Anticipated? Yes, it could have happened. But man, they are firing on all cylinders right now. I'd like to see them fix the special teams up, but other than that, their defense is the reason they are winning this football game, not their offense. And that's no discredit to their offense. But man, their defenses came in and they have shut down this Valley Christian offense. We talked about it, 33.3 points per game last year, and they have 6 in one half right now. Unstoppable performance by the defense. They've got to keep it up on this drive, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from them right now. And as far as Valley Christian goes, I think that they started to find their groove too at the quarterback position with Isaiah Messias and that offense running those outside sweep pass plays. I think they can't go away from it though. They have to stay with it now and they have to stick with it and go back to it. You can't discredit yourself just because of one error offensively.
And Swain will put the ball in the air for the Gophers, kicks it deep, bounces into the hand of their returner. And he is taken down just shy of the 50, and that is number 14, Llewellyn Payne.
Gonna have a penalty on the play. Don't know what it's for. Something down in the lower end of our screen here. Might have been an unnecessary roughness. Might have been a block in the back. Couldn't quite tell what it was.
The Zebras will meet near the 40-yard line and discuss as they wave off the penalty flag, and both teams take the field.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure what was called there. I think it's a good call or no call there. I couldn't really see anything. Was surprised myself. But nonetheless, a great return for the Valley Christian Trojans, setting them up at a 1st and 10 at about the Valley Christian 46-yard line.
Get some guidance from the referees here as we have motion from Valley Christian, and the ball is handed off to Rockefeller, but he is met immediately by Zayden Cundiff and company as they take down Rockefeller after maybe 2 or 3 yards.
Big play by Evan Quick there. Defensive end starting to get his day going. We know he can be lethal for this Florence defensive line. They revolve around him mainly there at that edge position. Starting to come alive here.
Florence in need of them to set those edges as the ball is snapped, and we get a whistle.
False start on the offense. Noticing that Florence is sitting in that cover 3 a lot now. Dropping down those outside backers for those out routes. It's a great adjustment like we talked about. Coach Jesse Hart is so good at adjusting defensively. That's one of the things he's best at as a defensive coordinator, and you're seeing it pay off already.
Yeah, one thing I have learned from Coach Hart is if his team makes a mistake, it is very seldom that they make that same mistake twice.
One high safety, think they're sitting in it again.
Macias will roll out to the left, throw the ball, and it is overthrown as that is number 9, Calvin Gage, who is unsuccessful in wheeling that ball in.
Great job by KJ Watson coverage there, right? Plays him to the outside hip, plays him to the inside hip there. If he's not getting it, nobody's getting it.
And now we prepare for 3rd and 13 with 1:59 to go here in the second quarter.
Big that Valley Christians left their run game out of the equation now. For Florence, they could sit in a cover 4, cover 3 now and bring that outside backer up now, because, I mean, when you completely negate your run game, these are the kind of things that happen. And it hasn't worked for Valley Christian the last 2 drives.
I couldn't agree with you more as we get a short pass there from Macias to Rockefeller as he is, again, unsuccessful at another first down. And we're looking at maybe 4th and 2 here for the Trojans.
I think if you're Valley Christian, you punt the ball here. You don't go for it. You're down 20-6, a minute and 40 till halftime. You cannot give this Florence offense the ball at almost half at the 50-yard line with a minute 33 to go and all 3 of their timeouts. I think it's got to be a punt here, and you got to trust your defense to take you to the locker room down 13. Or sorry, down 14.
And Valley Christian will go for it here as Macias awaits the snap. Trying to draw an offsides. Not working here.
We talked about it. They don't make the same mistake twice.
And you see the defense clapping it up there.
Valley Christian's going to waste their last time out. Think the punt formation's coming on now. Great job to stay still and not jump for the Florence defense there, giving their offense a chance to go up 21 now in the half. Big opportunity for Stenson and the Gophers.
And you got to give it up to the Gophers for maintaining their poise right there and staying stone cold as Macias was trying to get them offsides.
If you're Florence, I think the answer is pretty simple on this quick offensive drive. 2-minute drill, get the ball to number 2, right, Darren Swain. Just waiting for that big play from him, but he's been effective all day today. And hey, if you can just get a pass interference call out of everything, you'll take that 10 times out of 10.
And we are waiting for both teams to take the field as it is 4th and 3 with just 63 seconds to go in this first half.
And it looks like they're going to stay out there and go for 4th down. This is a very interesting call to me. If you're Jake Peterson, this shows me that you have a lot of trust in your guys right now. But if you're Jesse Hart, are you blitzing here?
I think you do. But based off the formation, it doesn't look like it's coming. As Rockefeller will get through for a first down as that 4th down conversion is successful.
Well, if there's one play I would have ran, it's this play right here. Watching your screen, you're going to run a double guard sweep right there. It's a great play. They hook the edge, and he gets the A-gap up the middle for a huge run. It's a great job.
And that gamble paid off for Coach Peterson as the Trojans are now 1st and 10 on the 40 with an incomplete pass there to number 18, Caden Palmquist.
That's Joe Rechko again in coverage there, boys. He having a game defensively in the air.
Rechko proving to be much more of a weapon on defense, but you cannot belittle his game on offense as well.
Valley Christian got to go quick here. No timeouts, 40 seconds.
40 seconds to go. Macias has the ball. He's throwing it to Daniel Hammond, and Hammond is taken down.
Pass is received by number 19, Daniel Hammond.
And we have 24 seconds to go here in the first half. The Trojans having to be quick here.
I think if you're Valley Christian, you get as close as you can to the hash mark for your kicker and you attempt one.
And another incomplete pass, that time to Daniel Hammond. And we have 8 seconds to go here in the first half.
This is a big point. We talked about special teams. Apparently they don't have that kicker that can hit these deep ones. And, you know, right now in the game, points matter. So they're going to have to go for it here.
Yeah, still very early in this season. Not quite sure where or if Valley Christian has a field goal range. Macias receives the snap, drops back, throws it, aiming for the end zone, but is unsuccessful. But we have a flag on the play with 3 seconds to go as we await the call from the officials.
Might be going against the offense here. Florence defense certainly thinks so, as they're slowly pacing off the field.
And it will go against Valley Christian.
Passing interference on the offense.
as a pass interference.
If I'm Florence, I'm declining this, and I'm taking the kneel, and I'm going to halftime with a pretty nice 14-point lead. Don't want to put yourself in any scenario where you can give Valley Christian just one chance to get 7 points on the board. But they are going to accept this penalty.
And the officials moving the ball back to its proper position as we await the last few moments of action here in the first half as the final 3 seconds of the clock tick away after this snap.
Ball from the 47-yard line. Official timeout.
Officials calling the timeout. Seeing Coach Hart with his headset off, think they're just going to take the kneel down here and take their 14-point lead at half. What do you think?
I'm thinking that that's exactly what they're going to do. I don't feel like they want to waste any motion or action. They know that they have another full half of football coming up. They just want to get in there, talk about their game plan, and get them right back out refreshed.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that they want to do anything more. I don't think they need to do anything more, Lupe. They got 20 points in the first half on this defense, and they're up 20-6 going into half. You can take what you get, obviously. You'll gladly take a 14-point lead against one of the best offenses in the region.
Yeah, but now the name of the game is just maintain and keep the Valley Christian Trojans at bay. I have full faith in the Florence Gophers to do just that.
It'd be very interesting to see. A lot of the times we see teams come out flat-footed in the second half. Can Florence stay on that tempo? That's been a big question of theirs for the past couple of years. They come out flat-footed in the second half. That's going to be a big telltale in the beginning of the third quarter.
And I think the most surprising part for me about Valley Christian has been their offense and their inability to find a groove.
That's going to take it down. So the halftime score is going to be the Florence Gophers at home, 20, Valley Christian, 6.
And we will be right back here on the SOAZVB Network. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome into Top 10 Tuesdays. With week 0 wrapped up, we have finally made our decision on which plays made our top 10 list. So without further ado, here are the top 10 plays of this week. Coming in at number 10, we have Landon Medrano out of ALA Anthem South. Medrano's going to receive a pass out of the backfield, and he's going to make a few defenders miss and take this for about 40 yards on the play before eventually being brought down by the defender. Number 9, we go to our game of the week as Vision McKee from Santan Foothills. He's going to receive the jet sweep off of the right, make a cut, and take it into the end zone for his first of 2 SaberCats touchdowns. Number 8, we have Chris Lopez out of Morenci. The senior running back is going to go up the middle and get denied, but bounce out to the sidelines where he's going to take it for a 37-yard touchdown. We keep things out in Morenci at number 7 as Aiden Williams from ALA Ironwood. He's going to receive the handoff, and he's going to break a few tackles as he's going to take this for 47 yards, 1 of 3 touchdowns on the night for Williams. At number 6, we have Avion Bailey out of Dysart. He's going to receive the jet sweep, and he's going to take this for 63 yards on the play as he goes untouched for the first Demons touchdown of the night. Number 5, we have Zayden Cundiff out of Florence. The junior running back's going to show his power as he's going to bounce off 1 tackle and not 1, but 2 stiff arms on the play as they're not going to be able to bring him down. Number 4, we have Daniel Contreras out of Santa Cruz Valley. He's going to take the pass from Nathan Harris, and he's going to showcase his speed as he goes 70 yards for a Dust Devils touchdown. Number 3, we go back out to our game of the week as big Michael Sierra is going to showcase his strength, blow past the offensive line, and slam down the running back on the play. Number 2, we're back out at Gilbert Christian as we're going to see Logan Stenson showcase his arm strength as he scrambles to his left and heaves it up to the receiver who's going to come down with it. And our number 1 play goes to Malik Smith out of Florence as we're going to see the senior linebacker drop back into coverage and one-handed for the interception. It's so nice. We're going to show you twice. Look at the vertical and the reach. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure you join us next week to find out who made the list on Top 10 Tuesdays.
And look at that beautiful drone shot courtesy of Nolan Morrow. Shout out Nolan. First time ever actually getting to meet him in person. Such a great guy. You love his creativity and his ability to showcase the talent here in Florence.
Around in the beginning of the second half coming up here, let's take a look at halftime. We look at the offensive lead for Florence. Malik Smith had a 40-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter that really set the tone. After that, it was Logan Stenson with his rushing touchdown that really broke out the game for them. And then on the other side of the ball, Valley Christian had their passing touchdown from Isaiah Messias with Caden Palmquist having a receiving touchdown. But the biggest factor so far was Joe Rechko to round out halftime with that interception pick 6 to make it 20-6. Lupe, let me get your thoughts coming out of halftime.
I think that Joe Rechko has definitely made a huge impression on me, not only in his ability to run the ball, but what he's been able to do on defense tonight has been nothing short of extraordinary. That INT that he was able to run back for a pick 6 was something that the Gophers desperately needed to turn the tides here in this game.
They needed one of their young guys to step up, and Joe Rechko did just that. 75-yard pick 6 to the house. That just, as if you weren't finding someone to make their name, he makes his name known in a huge, impactful way. I mean, we talked about it earlier. Florence defensively has to be sound. And I would go as far as to say that they're playing the best that they possibly could be playing so far through 2 quarters. Would you say so?
I would. Now that we have a few moments, let's take some time to break down some of the games that are going around the state, as ALA Anthem South is trailing Arete Prep at half 24-0.
And then we round it out at Douglas. We've got ALA Ironwood, who's up 20-14. That game is still going on.
And at halftime, Corona del Sol is trailing Casa Grande 14-21. Something that I didn't anticipate to see, especially with Corona del Sol being a very high and top tier 6A team, wouldn't you say?
You know what I would say? Is I'm more surprised by the fact that right now, currently, in the third quarter, Thatcher 2, Chrisman 0. That is insane. That is such a close game right now. And we talked about how young Chrisman is and how much of a veteran presence that Thatcher brings. What are your thoughts of it being 2-0 in the third quarter?
I couldn't believe it. When I see it, I have known this app to make a few typos here and there, but if that in fact is the score, Chrisman is doing everything in their power to hold off the Thatcher Eagles right now.
And also, Poston Butte down right now, 14-0 to Micah Mountain. But I still believe in Poston Butte, and I still believe they have a chance to come back in that game. But what a great start from Micah Mountain.
Yeah, and talking about a great start, we cannot forget about Santa Cruz Valley, as they are leading the Trivium Prep Chrisman Knights 14-0 at half.
And, you know, some other games going on right now that we can't see scores. We've got Sequoia Pathway playing. We've got Vista Grande and all these other schools that we'll try to get updates on when we see the scores. But back to this game here right now as we get ready to kick off the second half. Is it Florence or is it Valley Christian that needs to make a statement and make it quick, and why?
It's got to be Valley Christian, because right now the game is slowly slipping out of their hands. I don't think anybody on their side believed that they would be down this much at halftime, but the fact of the matter is Florence has brought it to them, and that's exactly what I said that they needed to do in that first half, and they have done just that. Now, again, it's just a matter of maintaining and holding off these Trojans.
I think for me it's Florence. You know, we know they're up 20-6, but the tell-all tale for them the last couple of years have been they get big leads, and the margin gets shorter and shorter and shorter until it is either tied or close to nil at the end of games. For me, they get the ball in the first half. I don't even want to see them run the ball. I want to see them air it out on this team's secondary, and I want to see them go down and score 7 and put this game away in the beginning of the third quarter.
And what do you feel the mindset of Logan Stenson will be coming into this third quarter? We saw him make a mistake, his first interception of the year, just a few moments ago in the second quarter. Do you feel like that will improve his momentum, or do you think that that will affect him in a negative way?
I think that Logan is going to, obviously, he's in the locker room right now, and I think that he's not thinking about what just happened. He's thinking about what's next. And he's one of those quarterbacks where it's not what just happened, it's what's going to happen forward. He's always taking the next step ahead, and you need that in a quarterback and a leader. For me, I think that it's up to him, though, to put this game away. The ball is in his hands, and I'll tell you what, he's one of those guys where that's the only thing he asks for, is just a chance to put the game away. And what I've noticed offensively, they've really given him a chance to do his thing. And he's doing it in the air, on the ground, all around. And you can't ask for much more from your quarterback. But I'll ask you, Darren Swain, right? No catches in the game yet, but it seems like he's been the most effective receiver, no?
Yeah, he has definitely been an essential part to helping the Gophers move the ball. You won't see this on the stat sheet, but the amount of pressure that he has put on this defense to get the flags thrown has been nothing short of extraordinary.
And I'll actually bring it over to Daniel. I want to ask Daniel quickly, as he's right here on our broadcast. Daniel, I got 2 questions for you. Number 1, do the Gophers have to get Darren Swain involved in the second half if they want to come out on top in this game? And number 2, what does Valley Christian have to do defensively to stop this Florence pass attack?
I think, you have to get not only Darren Swain, but multiple receivers. If you look at the stats from last week, Logan Stenson actually hit 6 different receivers, and I think that that's what opens up their pass game, is just not necessarily one receiver. You want to see Swain get in the groove, because then it allows the other receivers to get open. And if you're Valley Christian, as far as what they do, on the defensive side, I think you need another big turnover in order to get that momentum back. I mean, you saw what they did on the special teams. You saw the the interception in the end zone. And now I think if you are Valley Christian, you need a big turnover to help your offense execute.
And a fun little fact, you talked about it, he had 6 completions in that game, all to different receivers. And that's one of those things where they get multiple guys involved. But Lupe, I'll ask you, like Daniel said, you have to get everyone involved, but is it more of a necessity that you have to get Swain involved in the field more to open up other opportunities for your running backs and other receivers? Or no, do you think that their game plan so far has executed well and they just need to stick with it?
I do believe that they have executed their game plan quite well, but I think that if you involve in an outstanding pair of hands and feet in Darren Swain, that you will not only put away this game, but you will give Valley Christian another reason to look and say it was number 2 that did this to us, because so far they know that number 2 is giving them plenty of trouble with penalties, but now it's a matter of getting 2 on that field and getting them into the game.
And you're right, and coming up next we will have the kickoff of the second half. This is the Varsity Breakdown Game of the Week.
And welcome back to the town of Florence for the start of the third quarter as the Florence Gophers lead the Valley Christian Trojans 20-6.
Kicking for the Trojans, number 8.
Going to be a big offensive drive here for the Gophers to start, but defensively, I think you got to be like a mousetrap, you know, like a rat to cheese. You got trapped.
Let's see if that aroma is still in the air and if Gomez is able to boot this. And he is. Short kick, and it is recovered by the Gophers as the receiver is pushed out of bounds somewhere near the 35.
And here comes Stenson and the Gophers out for their first drive of the second half, and we talked about it earlier. Stenson getting it done in the air, but more importantly, getting it done on his feet, as I think he's almost over 100 rushing yards now with a touchdown. Going to be a big drive for them. Would like to see some sort of play action, something big to start this quarter, wouldn't you say, Luke?
I think so. I think that we are just moments away from something really big happening. Stenson will hand off the ball, and the running back is taken down after a short drive.
Quick replay here. Watch the stance by the two defensive tackles. Inside positioning right there from the left nose tackle. Easy play in the backfield for him. And it looks like, too, that Valley has adjusted to a 4-3 defense, bringing that safety down sometimes for a 4-4. That brings open the pass lane for Florence. I think they're going to try and set that up here on this drive.
Let's see. Stenson tosses it back to Malik Smith. Malik Smith tries to dodge a couple of defenders, but is unsuccessful and is taken down just near the original line of scrimmage.
Florence can't get complacent. Got to put the ball in the air. That's how you win games in the second half. Not going to be able to run 2 quarters of a clock out here with a 2-touchdown lead. It's just not going to happen.
And with 10:52 to go here in the third, the Gophers prepare for what is 3rd and 10 on their own 35.
Split back here on about third and 10 here at the line of scrimmage. Look for something to the outside here, trying to turn it upfield.
Stenson drops back, passes it, and is successful in connecting with his receiver. And looks like they are going to be 4th and maybe inches.
Lupe, with the way this offensive game has gone for Florence, I'm going for it here. Pound it right up the gut. You need a couple of yards. Why not a quick wedge here or a sneak?
I think they definitely run it here. I would just have Logan just try to run it right up the middle.
And very surprising, they're going to give him the first down yardage on that, as I thought it was short, honestly, but you take what you could get. You don't argue with the calls there. As
Nope.
Florence now is a 1st and 10, and they've opened up the playbook again. Like to see a little play-action pass here, though. They've been running it a lot.
And Stenson has shown 0 signs of shakiness here in the start of the third quarter as he awaits the snap, gets it, drops back and hands it. Nope. And is taken down. And looks like
Another play here, you're going to see it. Like to see it, like the play action here. Would have liked to see something else other than a QB power there. I wouldn't want to put my quarterback in a position to possibly get him hurt. You've got talent there behind your center. You got to protect him at all costs there. We know he can make big plays. But right there, I just think it was more of that trusting in Logan. And, you know, you've got to trust in your quarterback, but to a certain extent, you don't want to ruin their durability in a way. It's early in the season, and you're in a battle right now.
against what many would call a contender for a 3A state title as Logan drops back, looks for his receivers, and scrambles to his left as he gets very close to the first down marker, but is pushed out of bounds, and we have a flag on the play.
It's going to be a blindside hit from Aiden Lee there. Led with the shoulder, full speed. You just can't do that. That's an easy call for the refs to make. It's going to take him all the way back on a big play there from Stenson. And again, just one of those mistakes that you can't be making early on. We've seen Florence make a couple of mistakes early. Still have the ball, though, so, I mean, they could negate all that with points, but I think you got to hit the reset button right now.
But nonetheless, a very good game if you could still count the amount of mistakes made on one hand, because Florence has still been quite flawless in this game.
Yeah, that's not to discredit them, but, you know, the way you're looking at it right now is you don't want to look at it, you're up 14. You want to look at it as it's a close game, and you need these points right here. And I think that these points are big for Florence because, as we said before, they tend to collapse in the second half sometimes, and they haven't been able to find an answer for that for most of the last couple of seasons. That's been the one negative effect on them the last couple of years.
Bogan accepts the snap and is met by 2 defenders and is taken down by number 57, Lorden Pickett. And let's take a look at that again.
Talked about this earlier, right? Bringing the blitz. They bring the blitz here, but what a great job right here by number 6. Outside contained right there. He doesn't let Stenson get in front of him, and they corral him in the backfield for a huge sack.
Yeah, that was Adrian Vasquez on the coverage there, the junior doing the work for Valley Christian.
Big third down here. Florence might hit him with the play action little screen. It worked for them earlier, but this is one of those scenarios where you're just trying to get more yards for your punter.
Let's see how the offense takes the field here. Stenson, with Malik to his right, has Cundiff in motion, and let's take a look at that play again.
Yeah, it's going nowhere there. This defensive line has really found their mojo on this drive. Going to see the motion come across, but again, just getting in front of the running back there, and Smith can't make the block, and they tackle Stenson in the backfield again. A lot of lost yards on that drive for Florence. It's going to be a long punt for them. Swain's going to be back to punt. Returning for Valley Christian is going to be number 8, Ethan Gomez. And I mean, we've seen today their special teams has been pretty much a bright spot for Valley Christian. A lot of return yards and turnovers.
And Gomez been doing a lot of the punt returning work for Valley Christian. Let's see if he's able to snake out a few defenders and possibly make his way into that end zone. Kick is off for Swain as it takes a few bounces inside the 30 or just about the 29-yard line as the Valley Christian Trojans will prepare to take over with 7:10 to go here in the third quarter.
And now coming up for his first drive of the game on offense is going to be Isaiah Messias, the senior quarterback. What does he got to do different in this quarter, Lupe, to bring his team in this game and to make it a dogfight again?
I think that he has to start start getting his receivers in the game early now. I feel like he wasn't able to get them involved in the first half, but now it is going to be essential for him to make those connections to each one of his receivers and possibly his tight ends.
Receivers to the weak side, might be a run or something in the other direction.
And that's Caden Palmquist in motion there as Rockefeller will take the ball again and maybe get a gain of 2.
And yeah, it looks like they're going to try to establish the run again here in the third quarter. I like the play call. I like the decision. And that could be very effective later on. You take any yards you can get on a first down. Just don't go backwards is always the saying.
Gain of 2 brings up second down and 8.
And you know, it's been a little bit since they've taken a shot on that Florence secondary. Do you see it coming here soon as they line up with trips to the wide side, offset tight end?
Macias takes the snap and is pressured. Gets past the line of scrimmage, but is met by a couple of Gophers as he is taken down by number 54,
Quarterback number 1, Isaiah Macias.
Mishan Deal.
Deal, another one of those defensive linemen we talked about stepping up. You've got Quick, you've got Deal, you've got Ballard, and you've got Neal on that defensive line. They're setting the tone right now. And Valley Christians just has not been able to get that motor going. And a great job by the Florence secondary there, clogging up every lane.
5:55 to go here in the third with 3rd and 4 for the Trojans as Macias gets the pass off, but it is incomplete to number 18, Caden Palmquist. An unfortunate misconnection with his tight end.
Valley Christian's going to bring out the punt unit here. Great defensive stop for Florence. We talked about it. Nice 3-and-out to start for them, and now they've got a chance again to go down on offense and fix those mistakes that they made in the first drive of the second half.
Let's see what type of kick Valley Christian goes here with. They were able to successfully get an onside kick in the first half. Do you think that they go with it again one more time?
KJ watching the return. And will be taken down for about a yard on the return.
It is fielded by number 11, KJ Watt. He's tackled by a troop of Trojans.
Penalty on the play.
Gophers from their own 27-yard line.
It's going to be a false start on Valley Christian, so that'll move up Florence on this possession a couple yards to start the drive. And that's big for them because, as we've seen, when Florence is pinned back on their own side of the field, they tend to get very complacent with the run a lot, Lupe.
And is that something that you've experienced as a player as well?
In my time, yes. It's been one of those things, and it's not a bad move. It's just more of a protective, complacent move. And there's times where it works and there's times where it doesn't. But I think right now it's very helpful for them to have those extra yards to open up their playbook. But actually, it's going to be a false start, and they're going to accept that, and they're going to redo the kick. So Watt's back to return again. And we have been told he is a lethal special teamer.
5 yards. Replay, 4th down.
Let's see if Valley Christian goes with the same type of attack here.
And it's going to get it back to about the same spot as it was.
Ball is down by number 18, Gaten Conquest. Ball is down by number 19, Daniel Hammond. Penalty call is holding against the Gophers.
And a penalty against the Gophers will bring them back, as that is not what you were looking for in that moment.
Yeah, that decision that they made on that penalty call to accept it obviously did not pan out for them well. It's now they're backed up even further.
5:16 to go here in the third. Let's see what the Gophers are able to bring. And a quick update here, ALA Ironwood up on Douglas 33-14.
Solid run outside for the Gophers, sets them up with a 2nd and 5.
As that was Cundiff on the run.
Number 6, Adrian Vasquez. Gain of 7 brings up 2nd down and 3.
Florence sticking with the same personnel here. Might be another run. And I think, Lupe, that the crowd really has been taken out of the game in the second half for Florence, and they really need them right now.
Yeah, they were full of excitement to start the third quarter. A couple of bad flags and a little bit of miscommunication has caused the crowd here to go a little silent.
They might be a little silent, but Smith will not be silenced as he just got himself another first down and a nice run for the Gophers.
Ball carrier number 7, Malik Smith, and that'll give the Gophers a first down.
And as the chain game moves another 10 yards. And how has this game unfolded before you? Do you feel like this was something that you thought that was going to happen with just 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter? Did you think that the Gophers would be able to hold a 2-touchdown lead over Valley Christian for more than 2 quarters? Stenson hands off there.
Another short run for the Gophers. Yeah, it's one of those things where you're surprised in many aspects of the game, but you've also expected a lot, right? We expected Florence to come out with that dog mentality. We expected Valley Christian to come out with that dog mentality. These are two great teams playing right now. What we didn't expect was the margin of error to be this wide right now on the scoreboard between Florence and Valley Christian. Florence is playing their tails off right now in a home game that they have been looking at on their calendar for almost an entire calendar year now. So for me, I've anticipated a lot of things, and I've also been unexpected with a lot of things.
And Ant, just to give you a quick update and things going on at Santan Foothills, Santan Foothills having a 2 to 3 touchdown lead over Tempe right now, 33 to 14.
Boy, have they turned the switch on their season, huh? They flipped it after week 1.
And you love to see it. We kind of had that same story with Santan Foothills possibly 2 years ago, where we kind of didn't see them as a team that would be able to show up and compete. And this year they did that exact same thing, and they are surprising a lot of people, including the Tempe Buffaloes.
Right you are, as Florence comes out again with that split back set. Two receivers to the wide side. Might be another pass.
Stetson drops back to his right, rolls, gets the pass off, and it looks like it is completed for what might be, no, it is an incomplete pass.
It's a big miss right there. We talked about it. You can't let Valley Christian hang in this game. They're going to get a chance to score again here. It's one of those things where you let a team hang on too long, they'll come back and they'll bite. And I think this is the biggest drive of the game so far for either team coming up right now.
And Valley Christian riding the biggest wave of momentum they have had in this game as they back up Florence against the ropes as we prepare for another punt from the team in red.
Swain set to punt, Gomez set to return.
Swain with a good kick. Ball takes a good few healthy Florence bounces as they will stop it at the 43-yard line.
It's going to be the 33-yard line.
33-yard line, excuse me.
It's all good.
Ball is down by number 56, Gabriel Granillo.
Another update from the games going around State 48. The Coconino Panthers hold a slight edge over Vista Grande 7-0. Lots of raised eyebrows around this table. I know Daniel and I are surprised. Ant, you surprised to see that score right now?
I am, and I thought that, Vista Grande, that they were going to come out and they were going to be one of the most explosive offenses this year, but, I mean, we don't know what's going on down there for sure, but it sounds like having some faulty airs there.
Macias hands off to Rockefeller. Rockefeller is met immediately by the defender and is taken down. Let's see that again.
Another great play by a linebacker here. You're going to watch at the bottom of your screen coming up here slowly as you're just going to see Phil's right through. Watch number 6 come right down past the tackle. Easy play in the backfield for him. It's a great read for the Gophers right there, and a great job by Soldier Blair.
And Soldier, after making that play, is slowly walking off of that field.
Walking off under his own power.
And you gotta love it as you hear the crowd clap here on the Florence side of the field.
And Valley Christian coming out here in a different formation. I think you got to pass here. I mean, this might be one of those situations. 2nd and 12. You've got to abandon the run game at some point if it's not working. We're about to be under 2 minutes in the third quarter. It's 2:06 and the clock's ticking. Motion coming across.
And Macias is able to connect with his receiver, who maybe gets away for 7 or 8 yards. And I believe that is, yes, Caden Palmquist for another 7-yard reception.
Palmquist seems to be Messiah's favorite target so far in this game. I think that you got to take a deeper shot, though. We know they've been going with those play-action sweep passes, but I think eventually you've got to sit in there and you've got to let one ride deep, and you got to hope that your guy goes up and gets it.
Yeah.
As we do have an injured Gopher on the field.
As it looks like we may have
KJ Watts down with the injury.
And we are going to take a short timeout here on the SoAZ VB Network. Thank you for joining us.
The result of that play is 3rd down and 3.
And with 1:34 to go here in the third quarter, it is 3rd down and 3 for the Valley Christian Trojans. As Macias makes a pass for a Valley Christian first down. And that has to be number 18, Caden Palmquist, one more time, able to get that first down.
Great play called there by Valley Christian. Corner sagging off. The easy wide receivers hit screen route. He only needed about 3 yards, and they get 5.
Oh, correction. That was actually Asher Hansel showing off his hands on that play as the Gophers prepared defensively for another Trojans first down.
Just past it. Might be another one right here.
Another quick pass. And you were correct as they get another first down as we'll take a look at that again.
And you're going to see it right here in Veiling. Look at how far off the cornerbacks are playing on their receivers, and you're going to see it right here as he slowly takes it up. On the hitch route, and he got his man wide open.
Receiver number 0, Christian.
And you gotta love the school spirit here at Florence as they are hosting a luau type of night.
The first down, Trojans.
And the Florence student section, they always pop out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to see young Mr. Potter get a hard tackle as the Florence Stuco was able to promote their luau night tonight. And Macias is scrambling as he is able to get a first down and a little bit more, but he is taken down. Let's take a look at that again.
And they're going back to what his bread and butter. We talked about it. He's such a good running quarterback. You're going to see him sits in the pocket right there, and the open lane opens up over the middle, and he just takes it, and he does what he does best right there. And now it's becoming a problem. Valley Christian's offense is driving on Florence's defense as we approach the final minute of the third quarter here with 30 seconds remaining.
And Valley Christian not going through a lot of changes in personnel as they are leaving Macias out there under center for a majority of this game, it seems. And Luke Snyder is on the run, but is taken down by Zay Cundiff and company. And we await second down.
And
Scratch that. The quarter is over. We now head into the final 12 minutes of football here in Florence.
And real quickly, it's crazy to think, there's no Potters playing on the field right now. But we talked about earlier getting the crowd involved again, and young Jackson Potter, believe it or not, has everybody here doing the wave. And you know what? It's working. They're doing it. It's giving them more mojo. Crowd's getting into it again, making an impact off the field, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I brought it up earlier. I got to see Jackson Potter get tackled as he was promoting the luau night here at Florence, and that's one thing that Florence is definitely not shy of, is tons of school spirit, and the community involvement is so precious here.
Allison Mills Contracting. Macy's Well and Bump. Napa Auto Parts Florence. And Pinal County Deputies Association. Thank you for showing your support to the Gophers.
And as the fourth quarter
Make some noise for
slowly starts to begin,
Crowd's really into it now, Lupe. 2nd and 5 here, getting towards the red zone.
they have picked up their second win. Let's see if that enthusiasm helps translate on the field for the Gophers. Macias gets the snap, throws it to his right, and has 11 wide open, and that is Asher Hansel for a huge touchdown for the Valley Christian Trojans.
Big play, and you're going to see it right here at the top of your screen. Play action, he gets the one-on-one vert route, and he just completely passes by Watts, and a huge touchdown for Asher Hansel. He is having himself a game, and Valley Christian is right back in this game as we approach the beginning of the fourth quarter with 11:55 to play.
And you gotta love the handiwork of our cameraman, Augie Chang, able to capture that play from beginning to end.
And Lupe looking at the scoreboard now and the time. We've been saying they tend to fall asleep in the second half. Should Florence be worried right now?
I think they have plenty of reasons to worry, and if they're falling asleep, now is definitely the time to wake up, as your lead is now cut to 7, as they lead the Trojans 20-13 with 11:55 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Boy, how big were those missed PAT and two-point conversion now? Just really changing the complexity of this game from a 2-score to a 1-score game.
Oh, we knew from the moment that they happened that those two plays were going to be completely crucial to how this game would end. And now, with just under 12 minutes to go here in this football game, Florence is in jeopardy of losing this football game unless they don't tighten up.
I think this is one of those games where you're going to need to rely on quarterback Logan Stenson for a huge drive right now to get you down the field and get you 6. It's going to be a big drive for him. See what he can do coming up here as Valley Christian's going to get ready to kick off, and Watts will be in the back to return, as well as Daron Neal.
Hansel will kick for the Trojans. And he'll inch his way towards the ball. Kick it. It'll be handled by Cundiff. And Cundiff showing the strength out there as he gets near the 50-yard line and is taken down somewhere near the 47.
It's actually going to be Reichen Blore in that play. Big return for him. We know he got hurt earlier. Came back, made a nice play right there. Setting up Stenson in the Florence offense at about the 48, 46-yard line.
It'll be Gophers ball from the 46-yard line.
Going back to that bread and butter split back set.
Logan takes the snap, drops back, has 4 defenders rushing right at him, and he scrambles to his left and is able to get a first down on his own. Gotta love the energy of Mr. Logan Stenson.
And what a high IQ play as you look right here. Goes for the screen, but he knows he can't throw it because his linemen are down the field, and that IQ comes into play as he takes off for a first down. You just can't teach those things. That's a great play by Stenson right there.
Yeah, Barron Smith and Lorden Pickett were hot pursuit of Logan Stenson, but able to keep it cool and get a first down. Or, close to a first down, as we are sitting at 2nd and 1 with 11:36 ticking on the clock.
I think you got to take a shot to Stenson right here now.
Low snap, able to keep it up, spins off to his right, will get the pass off, and unfortunately another interception for Logan Stenson as he takes a chance at trying to get Darren Swain involved, and Valley Christian makes him pay.
Boy, just a costly mistake right there. We don't see Stenson make too many times. Just underthrows right there on Swain, and just a huge momentum shifter right now if you're Valley Christian and if you're Florence. If you're Stenson, you got to rub that one off, and you got to focus on the next drive. But wow, what a crucially timing to get an interception. That is just unreal timing, as I like to say.
And that is a big play for cornerback Ethan Gomez, number 8, making his presence felt here in Florence. Valley Christian will take over just on the 20-yard line. A nice dart to Caden Palmquist will get them another first down, as we'll take a look at this play again.
Yeah, we talked about it again. Motion across, usually they've been running a lot is that sweep pass out of it. You're going to see him right there. He takes the streak route on it coming across, and right there the tackle made by number 4, Wyatt Stenson. But if you're Florence, I'm not tackling up around the shoulders trying to strip the bar right now. You've just got to make sound breakdown tackles, because all it takes is one broken tackle, and we're tied up in Gopher Stadium.
Macias drops back. He's able to hit his receiver, Palmquist, one more time, and Palmquist is taken down after 2 yards by number 7, Malik Smith.
Number 18, Caden Palmquist.
Another reception for Palmquist. He's having himself a game, to say the least. And it just looks like Isaiah Macias has really found his groove. The momentum has been on Valley Christian's side the entire fourth quarter. Florence has to find a way to shut it down again.
See a couple of Florence defenders with their hands on their hips. Let's hope that they're not gassed too early.
Motion across. Might be going the other way with this one.
And they do, as that is 22 on the carry. Luke Snyder, and we have a flag on the play.
Going to be coming back for holding on this one on the Valley Christian tackle. Got up to second level and was holding blur.
Tackled by number 3, Zayden Cundiff, and number 21, Darian Neal. Correction, Daron Neal.
And that's going to be holding against Florence.
Holding against the Gophers.
Coach Hart disagreeing with the call, but this is those mental mistakes that you don't want to see this late in a game, and especially on this drive. After a play like that, not looking good for the Gophers. They got to find a way to settle down and be playmakers.
Yeah, and you talked about their second half woes, and what does Florence need to do to correct these issues and make sure that this doesn't happen again?
I think that they have to expect the pass. You got to roll a run. You got to roll one of your linebackers out to a safety here. They're just killing you with the play actions all game and the misdirections. You just got to be able to contain the edge and trust your secondary.
And Macias will hand off the ball one more time to Snyder, and Snyder will get taken down for about 4 or 5 yards.
At what point do you sit there and think that maybe running the five defensive lineman personnel and manning up your corners and safeties, is it a thought right now if you're the Florence defense, or do you sit in your 4-4?
I think you do have to make that adjustment. They have been going really heavy with these dink and dunk short passes. I think that they have to do a way to help contain that. Macias drops back, getting an eye for his wide receivers. Will get taken down with a hard and heavy hit. And let's take a look at that hit again.
It's just a no-stop play here for the Florence defensive line. You're going to see them break the first level right away. Quick comes through, just misses through, but look right here on the end of the play. A huge hit by number 15, Evan Quick there.
And it is 3rd and 6 with 9 minutes to go in the final quarter here in Florence, Arizona.
Offset tight end.
Macias drops back, takes a look at his receivers, gets some pressure, throws it, and the connection is good as we will take a look at that first down reception one more time.
Oh, what great pocket presence by Isaiah here. You're going to see him sit in the pocket again. Starts to collapse through, but he doesn't worry one bit. He rolls out. And right here, I think you can't come down on him. You've got to stay on your assignment if you're Florence. Trust your secondary and know your assignment. I think right there it's a costly breakdown, and Valley Christian's driving here on a methodical fourth quarter drive.
And that was Ethan Gomez. We saw him make his presence felt earlier in that interception, and a huge, big first down reception there. And that is Rockefeller running the ball hard for another Valley Christian first down.
Starting to notice a pattern here. We'll break it down right here quickly. Offset tight end to the left. They've been loving their misdirection with that every time, bringing 52 as a pulling guard. I think that they go to that a lot on first down, and they're breaking it out with the passes earlier. I would like to see Florence switch that 5 defensive lineman personnel now, shut down that run, and force them to make a play with their pass catchers again.
Very exciting football here with 8 minutes nearing the clock as Valley Christian prepares to take the ball. And here's the snap. Macias will hand it off to Rockefeller. Rockefeller will be met by a couple of defenders, and we have a flag thrown just before he is taken down.
Right back to that misdirection again. Florence isn't adjusting. They're going to take every opportunity they can with that. They like that formation a lot.
Now that 7-point lead is in jeopardy of being lost here, or at least that lead is being very close to being cut to possibly 1. if the Trojans are able to.
And another costly mistake for Florence. It's going to be a personal foul, face mask on the play. They are just shooting themselves in the leg this drive. Over 25 yards in penalties now for Florence in this drive. Valley Christian's in the red zone.
Well, when it rains, it pours, and unfortunately, there is a cloud over the head of the Gophers as we speak.
I think this is where you need the crowd to come into play. And if you're the defense, you have to wipe away everything on this drive, and you need to focus one play at a time.
Let's see if young Mr. Potter is able to pull some wizardry over there in the student section.
Hey, as Chris Jericho said, he's a wizard.
Very good spot from the learning tree, Mr. Anthony Pistorio to my right.
Hi, guys.
And as we get a break in the action, let's give you another score update in Casa Grande as Corona del Sol is trailing Casa Grande still 21-28.
From the 8.
Gotta love it. I know everybody in CG is going wild right now.
Right over the middle, he's got him.
Macias with a dart to Asher Hansel, and the lead is now cut to 1 as Valley Christian is able to answer back with just under 8 minutes to go.
Got to see it right here at the top of your screen. Another fake play action, and they just love the combination with Angel over there, with him over there on KJ Watts, and they've just been exploiting that all day today. Another touchdown for Valley Christian, and pending this field goal, we will have a tie game.
And you called it. This is going to be a very close one. This game very well could be to who makes the final mistake.
And it is good, and we are tied up in the fourth quarter with just under 8 minutes to play. A shocker, to say the least, and you never thought you'd be saying that, right, Lupe? Fourth quarter, Florence up 20-6. All of a sudden, in the snap of a finger, we're tied.
Yeah, Valley Christian able to put up 14 unanswered here on Florence. Let's see if Florence is able to rally around these few mistakes that they have made and battle back and take the lead.
The big thing for me is going to be is Florence cannot go away from the pass game. I understand they just threw a costly interception, but you have a talented quarterback in there. You have talented receivers. You have to still make plays. You cannot negate the pass now and get scared of throwing it, thinking you might have a costly turnover. You have to allow these guys to play still. You have to wipe it out of your system, and you have to move on to the next drive if you're Florence.
Let's see if they have that goldfish mentality like Ted Lasso likes to say as they await the kick. And it's a short squib kick, but they are able to field it and bring it down.
Great play there by number 5.
No, that was actually number 2, Darren.
No, that was number 9. Angel
Number 9. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I do not have my prescription eyeglasses.
That's okay. We both went 0 for 2 on that one until I finally figured it out. Needless to say, what a smart play by him.
It'll be Gophers ball from their own 40-yard line.
We would like to apologize to Jennifer M. I do not want to butcher your last name, but we do apologize. It is Macias. Macias. We will get that right.
You want to know something, Lupe?
What's that?
That's my mother.
Gotta love the family support. And that is a short run taken down, as it is only a short gain of 2 yards for Mr. Zayden Cundiff.
I'd like to see Florence hit him with a play action here. Valley Christian is lining up heavy on that run with their nose tackles right now.
Florence in definite need to take this game back. They had this game fully in control and have let loose on the reins. They need to shapen up.
Split back set with Cundiff and Smith again.
Logan takes a snap, hands it off to Cundiff.
It's going to make it 3rd and 5 now. You have to pass on this drive right here. I think you got to go to you got to go on your gun formation with one back, and I think you got to spread it out.
Gain of 3 brings up third down.
And I think, and I've said this before, you got to go to number 2 here. You got to go to your for sure safe hands in Darren Swain. Look for them to try to get something with them over the middle.
Let's see if they're able to work that in. As the last time they went to Swain, the defense was just a step ahead as they were able to pick him off.
Swain's gonna get one-on-one over here. Wouldn't mind seeing him be able to run. He's got press. He likes press. And a run up the middle on 3rd and 5. And it's going to be 4th and 5 as it's stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And this is some of the things we talked about is they get very complacent at times and they don't take big plays at big opportunities. As Florence is going to go for this on 4th and 5 on their side of the field. Wow, Lupe, I'm shocked to not see a punt team out here right now.
I am shocked as well. I did not expect them to run the ball on a 3rd down, let alone to go on it here on 4th.
Might be a kill count right here, trying to get them to jump off sides. They brought their tight end out to receiver spot. They don't do that much.
Let's see. Valley Christian looking a little bit shaky there, that offensive line, and they might have possibly jumped off the ball. And they did. I believe it was number 58 for Valley Christian who might have just had a quick step just before Logan had made the snap.
And I don't think that that was meant to be a hard count. I think that that was meant to be a real play because we saw in real time the ball was snapped and everybody moved. But nonetheless, a great hard count by Stenson if that's what that was right there.
Way to rally back if you're number 5 as we are just under 6 minutes here in the 4th quarter as we prepare for a fresh 1st and 10.
Very interesting concept by Florence there, bringing Quick out from the tight end spot to the slot receiver position. Might see that again later here, but they're going to come back out in this I formation and just continue to run the ball.
Now, do you think they're going to run the ball and try to run out the clock and maybe kick a field goal here?
I mean, they have Darren Swain. He's got a leg on him. And, you know, with the way the clock's running down, that might not be a bad decision at this point.
We'll see what type of strategy Coach Hart goes with here as the clock ticks down. And as we see the Florence Gophers approach the line, and let's see if they methodically run this clock and ball down Valley Christian's throat. Stenson moving to his left, gets the pass off, but is way over his intended receiver's head as we prepare for a 2nd and 5. 3rd and 5, excuse me.
I like play call there. Pocket collapsed a little bit. Stenson got out, just overthrew its receiver a little bit. Better to overthrow than underthrow, though. Going to be a 3rd and about 6 here. I think you got to go. This is one of those scenarios where I think you trust in a QB read option and you let Logan get those 6 yards.
Let's see if Logan is able to get those 6 yards in the air or quite possibly on his own 2 feet.
Play action here. Watch for play action possibly. Could be stretch.
And it is to Malik Smith, who is across for a 1st down.
Great run there by Malik Smith. He just cuts right outside on it. Brings it back up in the end there. Solid run for a 1st down. That's big. We'll take a look at the replay right here. Or not.
Just a little too slow on that button pushing, I apologize.
Just a bit outside. So blur lining up down at the bottom of our screen here at the outside. Something different.
Stenson hands it off to Smith, and Smith will be taken down after 2 or 3 by Daniel Hammond.
Boy, what a drive for Florence this is right now. Giving me shades of 2021 Florence at Santan Foothills, where they ran the infamous 8-minute drive in the 4th quarter.
Now, we could have another close game here. As you know, last year, Valley Christian beat Florence by just 3 points. Florence is in a position to do just that very same thing right now.
Fullback dive in the I formation.
Everybody getting involved here. Whistle's blown, and we'll try to get some separation here.
And it looks like Valley Christian's going to take their first time out of the half as we're with 3:16 underway, looking at a 2nd and 8.
Trojans.
And with that timeout, we will take a quick break here in the action here on the SoAZ VB Network. And welcome back to the SoAZ VB Network as we are tied here in Florence 20-20 here with 3:20 to go in the 4th quarter.
Big 3rd and 5 coming up for the Gophers right here. Might look back to go into that I formation and hitting another dive. Valley Christian not adjusting their defensive line. They're going to stick with that 4 defensive lineman personnel.
And Smith looking to run it down the throat for another Florence first down. And Coach Hart is doing exactly what I anticipated. He is methodically holding on to this ball and choosing to run it down and slowly run down this clock, leaving the Valley Christian Trojans under a lot of pressure.
They're going to take their time here. They want to get at least one more timeout off the board for Valley Christian. That's the goal right now for Coach Hart and his Gophers, I can tell you that. And hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This I formation's been working for them ever since they got past the 50.
And Smith has proven to be nothing short of extraordinary as he takes it again for another 4 or 5 yards.
And that's just smart running by Smith right there. Not trying to get the big play touchdown, just enough for the first down, going down to run that clock. They know the situation they're in, and they're doing a great job right now. As we're just approaching 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game, we are tied 20-20.
Second down and 4.
Stenson will run back onto the field after collecting the next play from his offensive coordinator. Let's see what they have drawn up. Swain at the bottom of your screen there. Stenson getting some communication out there. Waits a snap, and we'll get a whistle.
Looks like it's going to be a delay of game on Florence. That is not the time you want to get a delay of game if you're them.
Penalty flag B for the snap. Delay
You
of
definitely
game.
don't want a delay of game. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the 4th.
Second down and 9.
But nonetheless, still 2nd down and 9 to go for the Florence Gophers. As they slowly approach their red zone, let's see if the Gophers are successful on getting inside. And the snap, Stenson scrambles, moves up the line of scrimmage and is met by number 57, Lorden Pickett.
Timeout call.
And we have a timeout. And we will take a short break in the action here on the SoAZ VB Network.
The Trojans.
As we approach a big 3rd and 5 coming up, it's tied at 20-20, just under 2 minutes to go. Lupe, we take it back to that encroachment that Valley Christian got at that 4th down at the 50-yard line. Is that the game changer right now in this 4th quarter?
Yeah, looking back and talking about it amongst ourselves, that happens to be the most crucial point in this game thus far.
And it's definitely been crucial as Florence is now in the driver's seat in the red zone with a 3rd and 5 with a minute and 49 to go. A 1st down here, Florence can really run some time off that clock if they choose to.
Yeah, you said it. They are in the driver's seat. Let's see if they put the pedal to the metal or if they choose to coast with just under 2 minutes to go.
Swain out for Florence. It's going to be Stenson lining up down at the bottom of our screen now.
And Smith looking like he will get a Florence 1st down as the Gophers have now entered the red zone.
Big run right there for Smith. Going to bring up a 1st and 10, and now Florence can potentially bring this clock all the way down to potentially what could be a game-winning field goal. As you can see, the Gophers practicing on the sidelines right now for that potential scenario. But they want 6 right now. I know they do.
Let's see if they're able to get that right now as Smith able to break free into the end zone for a Gopher touchdown.
Big play right here for Smith. Lines up with the other running back to the left, and you're going to see right coming up here, just drills it right outside on the stretch. An easy touchdown for Smith, and the Gophers are on top once again, 26-20 with 1 minute and 21 seconds left to go. Talk about a methodical drive.
And that's what it was. It was completely methodical. But, Ann, I have a question for you. If you're the Gophers, do you go for 2 here, or do you play it safe and just try to get the PAT?
I think you play it safe and get the PAT here. You go up 7. In the events that they do score and they try to go for the 2-point conversion, the pressure's on them, not you. So I think that you take your free points right here. As we've seen earlier, not taking their points has been effective. As he drills it right down the middle, Florence now holds a 27-20 lead. A minute and 21 to go in the 4th. Things are getting interesting here once again.
Talk about excitement. I talked about as the excitement was rising, as the sun was going down, the sun nowhere in sight, and the energy is pulsing through every single person here in Florence Stadium. Valley Christian now with just 1 timeout remaining with 1:21 to go in the final quarter.
If you're Florence, you cannot give up a big special teams play right here. That's been the name of the game all day, and that's what's kept Valley Christian in these games. It's been special teams. You got to pin them back deep, and you cannot let them get past the 50-yard line to start this drive.
And Swain kicks it. It bounces at the 20. It's fielded. No, it is fumbled. And let's see who takes possession here.
I think Valley Christian got back on that at the last second, but boy, what a play that could have been right there to end the game.
And you're right, Valley Christian will take possession, but we have 2 flags that are thrown on the field, and we will see what is called from the Zebras here shortly.
Coach Hart, very aggravated down the sidelines. Looks like it's going to be a penalty on the Gophers.
Not how you envision this drive if you are indeed a Florence Gopher, but now is the time to maintain that cold or cool head on your shoulders and stay on the Trojans.
Big drive right here. This is the game-winning drive right now, possibly tying if you're Valley Christian. They got to go, and they got to go quick.
Tight end in motion. Macias to his right will connect.
But the clock's running,
With Caden Palmquist as we wait to see if Valley will take their final timeout.
Little personnel change here. Neal's going to come out. Florence is going to bring in Reichenblur.
Valley running a hurry. Offense. High snap. Macias scrambling. Almost taken down. Will run it, and it is hit hard. by the defender. Let's take a look at that one again.
Oh, baby, with the sledgehammer. Zayden Cundiff just gets in there and lays a boomstick on him.
Look at the way he drops that shoulder and takes him out of bounds.
And that is why he is your leader on defense right there, the field general.
47 seconds to go in the final quarter. It is 3rd and 6. What do the Valley Christian Trojans have?
Big 3rd and 5, lining up in twins. Looking to get something over the middle or outside on a corner possibly.
And that is Calvin Gage to number 11, Asher Hansel. Something we were not used to seeing there. We've been used to seeing Macias in this game running the show as the quarterback. And now we get a little bit of action from Gage there.
Hey, but win by any means necessary, right? Big 1st and 10 here. Back in down to the 49.
40 seconds to go in this game. Nearly intercepted.
Oh,
by
it's going to be a late flag. Are they calling pass interference on Florence here? I mean, the ball was tipped, but right behind him being held was the tight end. Did you see right there? Are they going to call Stenson for holding?
And the penalty flag has been waved off.
That's a good call. He did tip that pass. That shouldn't have been a pass interference there.
There is 38 seconds to go, and the bleachers are buzzing here in Florence.
Empty back set, Lupe. I don't think we're going to see QB power here like we've seen with Isaiah.
Snap takes the throw, and that is Hansel again with another 1st down reception.
32 on the clock. They still got a timeout to work with here.
On the 30-yard line.
It's going to be a 3rd and 1 here. I don't think you're in a position where you can really run the ball and waste your last time out. You've got to pass here, or you've got to get out of bounds on a run.
And the catch is made.
Is he inbounds, though? Is the clock running?
We will take a look at the replay. I'm not sure where he landed.
I think his knee was inbounds. Nonetheless, a great play by Valley Christian.
Yeah, he was inside, just within the 35, possibly at the 34-yard line. 26 seconds to go.
Looks like they don't think so. That clock stopped. They said he got out of bounds on that. Wow. Clock's not running. They said he got out of bounds. 1st and 10, 26 seconds. Florence showing pressure.
And the defense making him scramble, taking him down.
You got to take your time out here for Valley Christian.
And they do just that as the referees blow the whistle. And with 18 seconds to go here in the 4th and final quarter, Florence leads Valley Christian 27-20.
Boy, what a game this has been, Lupe, huh? I mean, this entire last 5 minutes of this game has been nothing but energetic. Can Valley Christian pull this off and bring this score to a tie game once again, or will they fall? And will Florence pick up the biggest win that their program has had in quite some time?
We will have to see. The wind is blowing. The electricity is flowing. I haven't got the hair on my arms to sit down in the last 3 minutes, and I don't think they are going to sit down within the next 30 seconds. 20 seconds to go here in the final quarter as Valley Christian looks to get set. A little anxious to get on the ball is the center.
And Junior Gill's going to be in that quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't think that. No, you might be right. Nonetheless, Gomez lines up in the backfield here. Hansel back at the outside on KJ Watts. That's been the matchup they've wanted all night long. Do they go back to that right here with 20 to go?
Crowd getting riled up here. And we have an official timeout. And we will resume play.
20 to go, 2nd and 10. Drops back, fires, deep shot! Just out of reach for him.
And this intended receiver was number 16, Leo Mitchell.
They went right back to that matchup on Watts with Gomez, and that's been the telltale for them offensively. That's where they've gotten most of their points. But a great defensive play there forces the incompletion. 16 seconds on the clock. It's going to be 3rd and 10 here. And they're going back with the same formation. Running back lined up on the opposite side here. Smith lines up outside at backer.
Gage takes the snap, throws it.
And it's incomplete. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 10 with 11 seconds to go.
Pass is incomplete.
KJ there on defense, getting his team excited as they are 11 seconds away from winning this ball game.
The game is on the line. Valley Christian, this ball likely has to get in the end zone. If anything, you have no timeouts. It is exciting here in Florence. This is the game on the line. Here we go.
Lots of crowd noise.
Drops back, looks to throw, over the middle. It's incomplete, and Florence is going to hold on and win this game. 27-20. Let's take a look at that again. Oh, baby, what a win this is going to be. Drops back, fires right over the middle on the in route, and he just couldn't get it there in time. Likely would have ran out the clock regardless. And Florence gets its biggest win in quite some time, 27-20. Lupe, what have we just seen?
We have saw an ultimate bounce-back victory from the Florence Gophers. I mentioned it earlier. They lost to this team last year at NAU at the Walk-Up Sky Dome by 3. This year, they retaliate and end up beating the Valley Christian Trojans, are 6 seconds away from beating the Valley Christian Trojans 27-20 on their home field.
They said, I knew coming into this game that they wanted this win for a long, long time. But man, what a win for the Florence Gophers. As the clock strikes 0, the Gophers are 2-0.
And we'd like to thank everybody for allowing us to come into their homes today. This was such a great game, Anthony. How was it to sit in the booth and call it? And how special was it for Florence to be the very first game you call?
Just an unbelievable experience. 2 great teams. We knew this was going to be a great game. And just what an atmosphere. What a fourth quarter. There's no words to describe what we just saw. This has been some of the 2 best weeks of football we've seen in quite some time. And just unbelievable for Florence, the underdog story, to come back and win this game after being up so much. It's incredible to think.
And not only have I been more versed with a lot of the players that I'm familiar with, there's a lot of names that I'm becoming more familiar with, like Joe Rechko. He had that interception for a touchdown. That was such an amazing play. There were so many different moments in this game that were completely pivotal that led to Florence winning this one.
It takes a team to win a football game, and tonight these guys showed why they are one of the best teams in Arizona. Make no mistake, Florence looks like a completely different team this year, and they are coming for that state championship. After what we saw tonight, unbelievable.
Well, let's see what happens as the season unfolds. But thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on the SoAZVB Network. I am Lupe Ramirez. This is Anthony Pistorio. And also for Daniel Guevara and Augie Chang, thank you for joining us.